Now, this is quite important, and it helps to get them off your back, because if you have a lawful claim to that amount of money, it's not so high as to sound ridiculous, but it's not so low as for them not to worry. So it will deter some, but not all, detentions. Isn't it funny using words like detention? It makes you feel like we're still at school and we're treated that way, I think. It's like, these police community support officers, bless them. I mean, I'm sure they keep our communities a little safer, but it really does. It feels like, I mean, I always feel like if I've got a bit of weed in my pocket or something, I feel like I've been caught smoking behind the bins by my teacher. And I mean, what kind of country are we when it feels like that? I mean, this is how ridiculous it's got. So, and part of the thing with these notices is they're so, where you've deconstructed everything, you are literally showing them, throwing everything back in their face and showing them how ridiculous and nonsensical it all is. And when they finally see that you've decoded it all, and they understand that you understand that it's all nonsense and it's a load of rubbish. Okay. Furthermore, I claim the right to use a notary public to secure payment of the aforementioned fee schedule, or schedule, whatever, against any transgressors who by their actions or omissions harm me or my interests, directly or by proxy in any way. Furthermore, I claim the right to convene a proper court de jour in order to address any potentially criminal actions of any peace officers, government principals or agents, or justice system participants who, having been served notice of this claim, fail to dispute or discuss or make lawful counterclaim, and then interfere by act or omission with the lawful exercise of properly claimed and established rights and freedoms. Furthermore, I claim that the law of agent and principal does apply, and that service upon one is equal to service upon both. Think about this, agent and principal. When you use your capitalized name, which one of you is it? Is it you, or is it you? Which you is it? Did you contract with you? Do you see how ludicrous it is? So is it your natural person or your artificial person? The flesh and blood human or the legal fiction? Which one are they serving? Which one are they imposing on? Quite an important line, quite powerful. Furthermore, I claim the right to deal with any counterclaims or disputes publicly and in an open forum using discussion and negotiation, and to capture on videotape said discussion and negotiation for whatever lawful purpose I see fit. Now this is important. As the numbers grow in the UK as they have in Canada, and the hours and hours of videotape stack up, it's pretty powerful, and it will help the movement move more quickly. We haven't got a lot of time. We've got a little more time in Britain than the Canadians have got. The Canadians, if the North American Union has its way and the SPP has its way, there's trouble. But we have trouble here too, and we've got the European Union and the treasonous things going on in our government. And I'm not ready to give up. I'm not ready to give up my country to a union that I haven't elected or had the opportunity to participate in a referendum. So we've got a little more time than the Canadians, but not by much, and we need as many people as possible to get involved in the freedom movement and the free man movement. Because the more of us that do this, and the more of us that access the bonds, and the more of us that discharge debt, and reduce the burden on society, and the more of us who take control of those quarterly dividends. And now, important thing about the dividends, you can't go to Vegas with it, as Robert Menard said. You can't take it and do silly things with it. But if you're going to use it to support yourself, get an education, and then whatever's left, say put half back, and then decide, look at your community and see, well, what needs doing in my community? And then using some of that money to get it done. And the government will start seeing that you're actually taking an active role in bettering your community. You'll win their respect in the end. At the beginning, you have to be ready at the beginning. They'll try and scare you by placing you under arrest and taking your property and then having to give it back because it's under a claim of right and all of these things. But once they see that you're actually a good person and responsible, these people are just human beings, so they'll leave you alone. The system won't. The system is fundamentally flawed and evil, but the people that work within it are arguably human. So show them, treat them with compassion, show them that you are responsible and an upstanding human being. I nearly said person, that would have been a mistake. Right, now this is the final thing. This must be placed in bold letters, and this is very important. Affected parties wishing to dispute the claims made herein or make their own counterclaims must respond appropriately within 10 days of service of notice of this action. Responses must be under oath or attestation upon full commercial liability and penalty of perjury, and registered in the notary office herein provided no later than 10 days from the date of original service as attested to by way of certificate of service. Now, for goodness sake, make sure your notary does not put the person presented to me. It's very important. Otherwise, you've blown the whole thing. Be very specific when getting your notarization done. Okay, the man presented, or the woman presented, or the free man presented, or the man on the free soil presented, but never, ever the person presented. You are not a person. This is what this is all about. Very, very important. Failure to register a dispute against the claims made herein will result in an automatic default judgment and permanent and irrevocable estoppel by acquiescence, barring the bringing of charges under any statute or act against myself, free man on the land, John Harry Smith. Place of claim of right, city, country, nation, whatever. Dated. Your name, the claimant, so name and sign, make sure you're using your name with dashes and colons in it to separate the stuff, and not in all capitals, please. The name and address of your notary public. That's it, you need the whole thing notarized. Well, that took some time, but hopefully some of you will now find some remedy. I hope so anyway. I'm gonna take a couple of days out. I've got stuff to do, some housekeeping to do, some paperwork to file, a couple of people to help out with some stuff, and I've got to reply to some people about the tax as well. My bad. I've just been bogged down, literally bogged down under a sea of paperwork. This is by no means a walk in the park doing this, but the liberty you can obtain from it is well worth all of that trouble. So I'm going to check out now, and probably my next video will be about in-depth dealing with the bond and how to go about it and how not to go about it. So until then, all the best, and speak soon.